accept, where them hands, where them holes, where them throws, you know what I'm saying? Cecil.
There is a book that I'm reading right now that I will review when I'm done that brought up a concept that I think explains why people, especially you internet trolls, why you hate forums. You think that they are the action trap. So, we're going to go over what this book I'm going to review when I finish reading it says and what AI says, because AI, for once, in my opinion, got the solution right. So let's go ahead and define what the action trap is. This is just one definition. I've seen some others. So basically, the action trap is when you confuse motion with progress. You feel busy, but you're not moving towards your actual goal. To avoid it, ask yourself daily, is the action moving me closer to my desired reality or just keeping me distracted? This one question can save you months, even years of wasted energy. So, in other words, when people do the action trap, it's like they're doing something to feel like they're getting somewhere, but they're really not getting anywhere. Let's go to what AI from Google says about it. They call the action trap a leadership pitfall where managers focus excessively on doing things. In this instance, as we're talking about business, hiring, reorganizing meetings without addressing the underlying beliefs and cultures that drive behavior, leading to busy work, burnout, and poor results because actions aren't aligned with real strategic needs or employee understanding. So, my opinion on a martial arts application is I think a lot of you feel like when you're doing forms, you just moving to feel like you're doing something that it has no basis to actual reality and how people actually fight. And you are incorrect about that because your understanding of fighting is based on what you see in sports and contests. It's not based on how people actually fight in the real world. If you understood how people actually fight and how they actually are moving their bodies when they're really trying to hurt you, you would see why forms are extremely important. Also, a lot of y'all let Bruce Lee get y'all messed up. You think that because Bruce Lee said to not trap yourself with forms, that means you shouldn't learn them at all. You forget about that part in the Tao of Jeet Kune Do where he says, do not reject the forms as a reaction because you will only create another box and trap yourself there. Because there are people that think that all they have to do is learn a form or learn forms, and that's it. And that's a box. That's a mental box or compartmentalization. Instead of using those forms as a jumping point. It's like I said, and I think it's the video I posted before this one. If you practice your forms a lot until they're second nature, they're moving you towards your goal because you're learning the goal. If your goal is to be a black belt or develop martial arts competency, or if your goal is also to be able to continue to move your body in a martial way, doing the basic martial movements are a great way to practice that without having to be choked and slammed and punched in the face all the time. Forms work your balance. Whenever I gain weight, whenever I lose weight, when there is a significant change in age, I notice I have to change how I do my forms. And it's good to have that daily body feedback so that you catch it in time and you know, wait a minute, oh, something felt, it's not always that something feels bad either, by the way. It's like sometimes, oh, something felt bad. Oh, whoa, something feels better. So I can change the way that I do that. It's best to find that out in a safer environment because nothing's 100% safe. And then when someone's actually trying to punch you in the face. So where I say AI got it right here is this AI recommendation from Google says how to avoid the action trap. We're going to go over these briefly. Shift from actions to beliefs, ask why, build conditions for ownership, have strategic clarity, and identify power sources. So, shift from actions to beliefs. Understand the experiences and beliefs that shape the actions, so focus on shifting those as culture drives results. A lot of people know that forms in martial arts are part of whatever martial culture or culture associated with your style. So basically, if you get a good understanding of the forms and why you have that ritual associated with the way you do your forms, I think that helps to change from actions to beliefs. It helps you get more in line or in tune of what your style is. The main thing, though, is for me, is asking why. Before adding a new action question, if it truly solves a root problem, ask why you do a move in the form. If your instructor doesn't know or won't tell you, because sometimes instructors don't give you everything because they want you to think. That is where you learn how to do applications for the moves. And if you can't find it in your style, you can find it in other styles. If you open up your mind to be that you're not just learning, you're not just learning jujitsu, you're not just learning taekwondo, you're not just learning karate, you're learning the martial arts as a whole. And then you'll see where these patterns repeat themselves in natural movements and movements in other martial arts and combat sports. Build conditions for ownership. Create an environment where people understand why behind their work, feel trusted, and see their contribution matters. So this is something that definitely the instructors can do. You encourage your student to take ownership of their forms journey and of their understanding and ask them to apply things. Good teachers already do this stuff anyway. Strategic clarity. Define the strategic role and make smart trade-offs rather than trying to do everything. Sometimes when you're training, you may not have the time to just go after everything, but if there's a particular skill that you want to learn, or if there's a particular set of movements in a form that you like to do and you want to understand it, take your time to just focus on those moves or just pick one pattern and study it deeply. I know back in the day when I started taking judo, I heard someone say they pick one technique a month and just study that technique. I said they just study that technique a month. That's what was told to me. And I did that for a while and it did help. You take one throw or one technique, and that's all you work on. And I've heard people say similar things with your forms. Start off picking with your favorite form. Try to study every possible way you could do that form. For me, it started off with what I call basic form one. A lot of people call keep on one. And it's been taken out of a lot of Taekwondo styles. And plus, at one time, it was the only form I could remember. So I studied that form a lot and tried to think of ways I could use that. And that really helped open my mind up. And then when I started learning other things, I could see how to use moves in that form. Now it's become toy yay for me. It didn't start off as a favorite form, but I started seeing it. And the deeper I go into that form, the more and more I see things. I identify power sources. So understand internal and external stakeholders to target change effectively, not just react. How can we do that for martial arts? Just identifying people within your style and outside of your style that could help. Also, instead of internal and external stakeholders, think about internal and external martial arts techniques. If you don't know what that is, please Google that. Well, let me Google it real quick. What is the difference between internal and external martial arts techniques? Let's see what AI says. See if it's got a better. Okay, good. This is okay. So I'm not going to read it to you, but you can go online and ask about internal and external martial arts, and you're going to get a very good summary. I don't want to give it away. That'll be your homework. So, forms are not the action trap, dear practitioner, dear internet martial artists, dear regular martial artists. They are things that move you towards your goal. If you take the time to practice them, you'll start seeing patterns. Those patterns can help you work on your balance and they can help you work on learning and just open and expand your mind. So, thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe to share with people. We'd like to talk about the martial arts in peace. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Oh, and I have an ebook that's available. It's called A Martial Arts Philosophy. I actually have it in print and in ebook form, and it's available at lulu.com. The link will be in the description for this video. Peace, and thank you for your time.